It seems like every day now there's a new story about something strange in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, are we really alone out here? It's a big question.
It is a big question.
And that's what we're diving into today on The Quantum Soul. We're going to be looking at the hidden history of, humanity.
Yeah.
And we'll be using all sorts of things, science, philosophy,
mythology,
all that good stuff.
It is a fascinating paradox, isn't it?
Yeah. How so?
Well, because we've got all this science that says statistically extraterrestrial life is probably out there somewhere.
Right.
But officially, no one's really saying they've made contact.
Right.
But we do have a lot of reports of UFO sightings. And a lot of these are, tied to occult practices and even ancient knowledge.
Okay, hold on. How do UFOs and the occult, how do those two things go together?
Well, one example is Jack Parsons.
Okay.
One of the pioneers in rocketry. Now, he was really into the occult.
Okay.
Especially Aleister Crowley's teachings. Parsons, he thought that using Crowley's writings, you could actually summon extraterrestrial entities.
Wow.
Entities that could help him understand advanced technology.
So he's trying to get, rocketry, which he was obsessed with.
He's trying to get, an edge up on the competition.
In a way, yeah. He even did this thing called the Babylon Working, a series of rituals to try and create a moonchild.
A moonchild?
Yeah, some kind of magical being.
Wow.
It's wild, right?
So you're saying a guy who helped create rockets was using magic and maybe even talking to aliens?
It's possible.
That's crazy.
And speaking of Crowley, he claimed to have contacted an extraterrestrial entity himself.
Oh, really?
Way before Parsons. And the being that Crowley described, it looks a lot like what people call gray aliens today.
Huh, interesting.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Could there be a secret history here of humans and the cosmos?
Possibly, yeah.
That's been hidden or covered up. Yeah, and that leads to this idea of false flag events.
Okay.
What if some UFO sightings, especially the ones that might reveal too much, are actually just really advanced technology disguised as alien encounters?
So these events, they're staged to manipulate people.
Well, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe to create fear or to make it easier to control people. Stephen Greer, he's a UFO researcher.
Yeah.
He actually has a whole list of these potential false flag events throughout history.
Right.
And a lot of them happen at the same time as increases in surveillance.
Oh, wow.
And control.
Yeah.
So,
that's
it's
interesting. It's really interesting. You're not just talking about history being hidden.
No.
You're talking about people messing with reality.
Yeah, shaping how we see the world.
It really makes you question everything.
It does. And that's important, to question things, explore different ideas, be open to possibilities, even if they're, a little out there.
Exactly. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Right.
Give this video a like and share it with your friends.
Yeah, spread the word.
Now, going back to what you were saying about challenging our assumptions.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ancient cultures.
Okay.
Some of them had knowledge that seems way ahead of its time.
Like the Dogon tribe in Africa. They knew all about the Sirius star system.
Really?
Even Sirius B, which is a white dwarf star.
And that's hard to see.
Incredibly hard to see with the naked eye.
Wow.
They even knew about Sirius C, which wasn't confirmed by astronomers until the 90s.
So how do they know about these stars thousands of years ago?
Right. It's like they were given this information, maybe from somewhere else.
From off-world.
It's possible.
Wow.
There's a book about this, The Sirius Mystery, by Robert Temple. He suggests, maybe the Dogon's knowledge points to contact with extraterrestrials. And then there's David Icke. He interviewed a Dogon shaman, Credo Mutwa, who knew a lot about the Sirius system.
So aliens might be one explanation.
Yeah.
But are there others?
Oh, sure. There are other theories.
Okay.
Maybe they got this knowledge from another ancient civilization. One that had, advanced astronomy.
Okay, so we've got to be open-minded.
Yeah.
To all the possibilities.
Exactly. And remember, we're just getting started here.
Right.
There's so much more to explore.
There are a lot of questions.
Oh, tons of them.
That's what makes these deep dives so exciting.
It's about looking at the world in a new way.
Peeling back those layers of history.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about the quantum soul.
Okay.
It's this idea that the universe is a reflection of our consciousness.
Right.
That by understanding ourselves, we can unlock the secrets of the cosmos.
It's pretty profound, isn't it?
It is, but it's kind of hard to grasp. Can you break it down for me?
Sure. So think about a hologram. You know how the whole image is in every little piece? The quantum soul idea is kind of like that.
Okay.
Our consciousness, it's like a reflection of the whole universe.
It's like we each have a mini universe inside us.
Yeah, a microcosm of the macrocosm. And the ancient Greeks, they used to say, know thyself.
Right.
They might have been onto something big there.
So by looking inside at our thoughts and feelings, we're also exploring the nature of reality itself.
Exactly.
That's a big idea.
And this is where physicists like Richard Talbot come in.
Okay.
His research on quantum mechanics and the holographic universe. It gives us a scientific way to think about how consciousness and reality might be connected.
This is mind-blowing stuff. It means we're not just watching the universe happen.
No.
We're part of creating it.
We're active participants.
That's powerful.
It is, and it makes you wonder, what can we do if we really embrace this interconnectedness? What potential do we unlock?
That's a journey we all have to take for ourselves.
It is.
But it sounds like an amazing one.
Oh, it's filled with wonder and discovery and the possibility of real change.
This is making me rethink everything I thought I knew about the universe.
Yeah.
And my place in it.
It's a big universe out there.
It is.
And we're just beginning to understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot to think about, the idea that each of us is, in a way, a reflection of the whole universe.
It really is. And it makes you feel like we have so much more power than we realize.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us to, this idea of cataclysmic events and how they might be connected to consciousness evolving.
Okay, so are you talking about the end of the world predictions and stuff?
Not necessarily. Think of it more like these events, whether it's, solar flares or the Earth's magnetic pole shifting or even maybe extraterrestrial intervention. They can act like catalysts for change.
Catalysts?
Yeah, they push us out of our comfort zones, make us confront our fears.
Okay.
And ultimately, they help us evolve.
So instead of being afraid of these events, we can see them as opportunities to grow, to change.
Exactly. It's like a forest fire,
Okay.
It might seem destructive at first.
Yeah.
But it also clears out the old stuff, makes way for new life to come in.
So these events, they shake things up.
They do.
They make us question things.
Yeah.
And that can lead to a stronger, more conscious way of being.
Exactly. And that leads to this idea of the warrior's peace.
The warrior's peace.
What's that?
It's not about being passive or ignoring the problems.
Okay.
It's about facing them head on.
Yeah.
With courage, with clarity, knowing that you have the strength inside to overcome anything.
So not being fearless, but being brave enough to face your fears.
Right. And a big part of that is questioning everything you think you know.
Like challenging those assumptions that we've always had.
Exactly. The beliefs that might be holding us back.
It's like deprogramming ourselves from the stories we've been told about history, about reality, about our place in the universe.
Right. What if those stories are incomplete or even intentionally misleading? So how do we even know what's true anymore? With all the information out there, how do we tell the difference between truth and propaganda?
That's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
You can't just believe everything you hear or read.
Right.
You got to question your sources, look for different perspectives, and most importantly, trust your own intuition.
That gut feeling.
Exactly, that gut feeling. And remember, the truth is usually complicated. There's often more than one side to every story.
Right, right.
So consider all the different viewpoints before you make up your mind.
Okay, so embrace the complexity and realize that things aren't always black and white.
Exactly. Now let's go back to those ancient cultures.
Okay.
We were talking about how some of them had knowledge that seemed, beyond their time.
Like the Dogon tribe and their knowledge of the Sirius system.
Right. But there are lots of other examples.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like they had a different way of seeing the world, a way of knowing that we've kind of lost touch with. Think about ancient myths, for example, and the symbols they used.
Yeah.
They often have deep truths hidden in them.
Truths about reality.
Right. It's like a language that speaks to our subconscious.
So myths aren't just stories. They're like
blueprints.
Yeah, like blueprints, maps of consciousness that can guide us.
Exactly.
Towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe.
Take the idea of Merkaba, for example.
Okay, Merkaba. Isn't that like a chariot of light.
Yeah, often depicted that way, a vehicle for spiritual ascension.
And it's also an important symbol in sacred geometry, right?
That's right. But you can also think of it as a metaphor for the human energy field, like a vehicle for accessing higher dimensions of consciousness. It's a concept that brings together science, spirituality, and mysticism.
So it's not about physically traveling through space.
No.
It's about, like, transcending our current perception.
Right. Expanding our awareness to include a much bigger reality.
And that often involves challenging how we think about time and space.
Right. Exactly. What if time isn't linear, like we're taught in school?
Okay.
What if it's cyclical? A continuous loop of creation and destruction.
Are you saying that the past, present, and future are all happening at the same time?
It's a fascinating idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's this concept of the eternal now,
Okay.
a state of being where you're fully present in the moment,
Uh-huh.
not burdened by the past or worried about the future.
That sounds amazing, but is that even possible?
It might sound mystical,
Yeah.
but it actually has roots in quantum physics.
Really?
Remember the idea of the collapse of the wave function?
Vaguely. It's like reality exists as a bunch of possibilities until someone observes it.
Right.
And then it collapses into one specific outcome.
Exactly. And that suggests that consciousness is involved in shaping reality.
So we're not just watching it happen, we're actually creating it.
With every thought, every choice, every action.
Wow. If that's true, then we have a huge responsibility
We do.
to use our thoughts and intentions carefully.
Right. And that's why things like meditation, mindfulness, self-awareness, they become so important.
Because they help us be more aware of what we're creating.
Exactly. We become more conscious creators.
This reminds me of, like, manifestation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The idea that you can create your reality with your thoughts and intentions.
There's definitely a connection there.
So it's not about forcing things to happen.
No.
It's about aligning yourself with the creative forces of the universe.
Right. And letting things unfold naturally.
It's like learning a new language.
Yeah.
The language of consciousness.
And the more we understand that language,
Uh-huh.
the more we can consciously create our reality.
This is so inspiring, but it's also kind of intimidating, you know?
I get it.
It feels like we're being asked to step up, to take responsibility in a whole new way.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
Okay.
There are forces out there, both seen and unseen, that are helping us, guiding us.
It's like tapping into that universal wisdom that's all around us.
Exactly. And that connection is available to everyone,
It's about trusting that we're always guided and supported.
even when things are tough.
Like remembering that we're spiritual beings.
Yeah.
Having a human experience.
And that experience is about evolving, growing, expanding our awareness.
To include a much bigger reality.
And that brings us back to the holographic universe.
Okay.
The idea that every piece contains the information of the whole thing.
Like that hologram we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, think of it like a giant cosmic web. We're all connected, and
Right.
everything we do, it affects the whole system.
It's a beautiful image.
It is.
It reminds us that we're not alone. We're all part of something much bigger.
Exactly. And that interconnectedness, it has big implications. It means we're all part of something truly amazing. And everything we think, everything we do, it matters.
We have the power to affect the whole universe.
We do.
That's incredible, but it's also a lot of responsibility.
It is. It means we need to use our power wisely, to be compassionate, to act with integrity, and to understand that we're all connected.
Yeah, it's like we're all in this together.
We are.
And as we start to really understand that, we begin to realize our true potential.
As co-creators of reality.
Wow, that's an amazing thought.
It is. It's a journey filled with wonder and discovery and the possibility of incredible change.
It all starts with a choice.
It does.
A choice to open our minds, to expand our awareness, to embrace all the possibilities that are out there.
Both within us and around us.
Yeah, it's just wild to think about this Akashic Records thing, like a record of every soul, every event.
It is a lot to wrap your head around.
Like imagine what secrets are in there,
The knowledge that could be there.
the wisdom.
Yeah.
But if it's real, how do we even get to it?
That's where things get a little tricky.
Okay.
A lot of people think that ancient cultures, they were so in tune with nature.
Yeah.
They understood energy in a way we've kind of forgotten. They had ways of tapping into the Akashic records.
Like how?
Through deep meditation, shamanic journeys, rituals that change their state of consciousness.
So it's not like Googling it.
No.
It's more like expanding your mind.
Exactly.
Tuning into a different reality.
And accessing the information directly.
So it's like experiencing it, not just reading about it.
It is about direct experience, yeah.
And it's not just about the information, right?
No.
It's about connecting to wisdom, guidance from a higher level of consciousness.
Exactly.
This makes me think of those stories about near-death experiences or mystical visions, where people talk about seeing beings of light or having these profound insights.
Yeah, those could be connected to this higher realm of knowledge.
Because they're having a shift in consciousness.
Right.
They're going beyond their normal perception.
And that can open up doorways to realities that are usually hidden from us.
So there's a whole other dimension out there.
Possible.
Realm of consciousness, connection, just waiting to be explored. But we have to be careful. Not everything that seems like it's from a higher source is actually good.
No. Discernment is key here.
It's like anything else. You got to question your sources.
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
That inner guidance is so important.
Those synchronicities, those little nudges from the universe.
Exactly. Like when you get a feeling about something and it turns out to be true.
Yeah. Or you think of someone and they call you out of the blue.
Those are signs, that you're on the right path.
So it's not just logic. It's intuition.
It's listening to your soul.
Those whispers that guide us towards our potential.
And that guidance often leads us to experiences that challenge us.
Make us grow.
Yeah, push us out of our comfort zone.
Like when life throws you a curveball.
Right.
You got to adapt, learn, become more resilient.
Those challenges are opportunities in disguise. Chances to let go of the old, embrace the new.
Become the best version of yourself.
And remember, you're never truly alone on this journey.
Yeah.
There are forces supporting you, guiding you, even if you can't see them.
It's about remembering that we're spiritual beings.
Yes.
Having this human experience.
And that experience is all about evolution, growth, expanding our awareness.
To see the bigger picture.
Exactly. That brings us back to the holographic universe.
So cool.
Every part contains the information of the whole. We're all interconnected.
Like a cosmic web.
Yeah, everything we do affects the entire system.
It's beautiful, but it's also a huge responsibility.
It is. We have to use our power wisely.
Act with compassion. Understand that we're all connected.
Because we are. We're all in this together.
And when we start to get that,
yeah,
we start to see our true potential.
As co-creators of reality.
Wow. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
It has.
Thank you for taking us on this journey.
My pleasure.
And for everyone watching, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this with anyone who needs to hear it.
Spread the knowledge.
The truth is out there, but sometimes it's hidden in plain sight.
You just got to be willing to look for it.
Question everything, explore, and trust your intuition.
That's the key.
And if you want to keep exploring, we've got 2 more videos for you to choose from.
Right here on your screen.
Click the one that calls to you and keep learning.
Keep expanding your reality.
Until next time, keep your hearts open and your minds on fire with the truth.